Hi YouTube, Gaming Guy back with another video. Now this video is just going to be my thoughts and like lessons learned. So if you're looking for like a more interactive gameplay video, you can check out my other videos or you can watch something else. This is leaderboard stuff and thoughts and tips and tricks basically for the new meta. That's the point of this video. So essentially, I finally, after about 2 months, have gotten 30 runs done quickly enough before the meta reset to see where I fall. So a little bit about history about me is I started streaming 4 years ago, and I streamed very heavily, a lot of hours, kind of the middle of COVID, every day for like 9 months or almost every day. And in that time frame, I was able to hit the top 200 old leaderboards. And basically, since coming back, I had to take a step back away from streaming so I could be more responsible, get a job, etc. Be a better, more adjusted adult. Unfortunately, life. And since that time, since coming back, my goal has been, I got top 200 before. I would like to get top 100, like I have done in standard before. I've been top standard to close a month once. I would like to do the same thing in arena. So that's the background, and we finally finished for this most recent one with the expansion. And I don't know if you can hear that. I was trying to do a drum roll, but this is the results. Womp womp. Unfortunately, I didn't get there. So I was very close, and this is I do live stream about 3 to 4 times a week. 3 to 4 times a week, and we were pretty close. But something pretty terrible for me happened my last stream, which was yesterday. This happened. I have never lost more games than I have won in arena since Kripparrian taught me how to play arena, like shortly after beta. Since like after my first year of playing the games, I have always won more games in arena than I have lost, because again, I consider myself a pretty good player. Like 300 isn't terrible. It's very decent, but it's not what I was going for. Yeah, like this was like a Murphy's Law type of day. My opponents found everything they needed to find. I look like I'm the worst Jaina of all time mage player, but just like people finding the 100 mana legendary 2 games and 4 to steal games from me that I'm gonna win. Top decking like Nebulas when they're dead on board. Me not being able to discover the cards I need. And obviously I did have some lucky games in this stretch, but like the problem is it was like all my RNG was just for the game I was already gonna win anyways. Like I had a game where I found like a huddle up, supernova, and then I had like also 2 RNG to second Sunset Valley, which those are the cards you're looking for in Mage to win. And all of that was in the same game. I just needed some of my good RNG spread out to the other games that I actually lost, where I couldn't RNG anything useful because there's a lot of bad mage spells too. Like I didn't have a lot of elementals to make the 5 mana AoE any cheaper, and if you have to pay 5 mana to do 2 to everything when you can pay 2 with a different spell, that's not very good. You need to have powerful turns. So it was just kind of like not my day. I got a little tilted, but I think I've done better. That's one of my issues about playing while upset. Like if I just voice my frustration and then try to take a break, I think I come back and I still play decently well, which I was. Just some things, sometimes arena and Hearthstone's just not going to go your way. We've all been there for sure. So one of my viewers last night, and the first point I want to make, it asked me like, hey, am I doing something wrong? Like I get like these type of runs, and then I get a run like that, like an 11, 10, and then a 3 and like a 4. What do you think? Like is like, am I like misplaying draft mistakes on the low runs? Now I would say depending on how many you have in your 30, you may or may not be. So if you have like 3 or 4 like, I don't know, 3 to 4 to 2 win runs, or maybe let's say 5, and you're 30, you're probably like playing very, very well. And then your other runs, you're like saying that, like with that, your average could easily be like 7.3 or whatever. You're probably, sometimes the Hearthstone gods are just gonna make you have those runs. But if you are having like 10 to 15 of those runs in your 30, there is definitely room for improvement. And for me, let's just do an exercise and count. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13. So based on my own logic, there is definitely room for improvement. Now, some of the runs, I know the answer as to why and how I can improve. For this run, for example, we tried to have fun with a Reno Effect legendary that's pretty poor, and that made the deck, because we had to pass a lot of much better cards to take really crappy cards, and this Hunter deck probably could have been 7+ had I just taken the best cards and kind of just pretended I didn't have a legendary. There was a different run, and I did that in response to one of my Shaman runs. Like I think it was this one could have been better because we drafted Doc Holliday, and I forgot that it was a Reno Effect card. And the last Shaman I did, I had the same Doc Holliday, and I didn't screw that up, and he hard carried like 2 or 3 runs to get to 7. So there's just some wins on the table right there for myself to improve. And the other thing that I think I'm doing, like I think here, like I identified, like tilting off of this, like maybe this run leading to a second one because of tilt and frustration and not really thinking and playing my best Hearthstone. That's like personally something I've been working on, and I think I've gotten better at that. Also, like these happened because I didn't know what the new cards did well enough, so there was just a lot of interactions. And for me personally, there has still, even at this point, like for these last like 6, some of these games, something else that there's been some knowledge check losses too. Just some old cards that other people that didn't take a break know how things are going to interact, and things interact in a surprising way on board. That's like learning with the new cards. Everybody was doing that, but with some of the cards that were printed in the 3 to 4 years that I didn't play Hearthstone, like there is still a little bit of just knowledge check and learning curve on the older cards and how they interact and what they do. That is becoming fewer, but it has cost me some games and wins. The other thing that I just noticed in this run, something I need to improve at, is when the game goes really late and I have board, like complicated board turns, I think I spend too much time thinking, and a lot of, like almost everybody can improve on this, before acting, and then I don't give myself enough time to account for the animation, so I think I just need to be a little bit quicker. So one of the losses in this Shaman game, the board was full. He had played like just a full board. I had a full board. I had my Doc Holliday weapon, and essentially I roped, and I didn't get to swing at the very end to make like a 7/7 taunt. And then he ends up being able to come back and clear my board over the next 2 turns, also freezing me. So if I would have been one deeper and had one extra taunt, I don't think he would have had a clean clear. I think I could have fought back better and maybe closed out, because I was winning until that point and until that turn. So I ended up floating like 4 mana and not getting a weapon swing because I had a full board, and he had a reborn travel security, the 2/2 that gives you an 8-drop taunt that Death Knights have. So I took too long like figuring out the board interactions, and I had everything clean. I just needed like another 20 seconds or so, and I would have been fine. With the animations kind of got me, and I thought I queued up the attack, and that didn't even happen. So board space, hand space, and all of that, and yeah, that cost me a game that I think was winnable had I just played better. And I think there's that's probably true in some of these too. So I feel like there's probably easily room to for me personally, after I learned to increase this by +2. It was at this point, at 22 was +1. So, and there is still time for me to do that. So, the last, the I probably should have said this earlier, but in case you're wondering how leaderboards work in Arena, how you get up here, you have to do 30 runs at least before. They usually give you about a month to like maybe a month and a week before they make a new season. We're on season 51 right now, as you can see here. And as long as you do 30, you will be there somewhere. Now, currently, there have been I think like 9,000 people in Europe who have done it within this amount of time. So, top 320 and like 9,000 people. That's all right. That's fine. Now, once you do your 30, it used to work like it would just take your consecutive 30, and then of those, your highest average of your best consecutive 30. It doesn't work that way anymore. So when we do our 31st run, because I have a title here, so even though it looks like we've done 31, but we've done 30, the formula keeps the last 30 have the heaviest weight, but it's always divided by 30. So they do some math, and this one will still be included based on how they do the calculations, which you can look up. But the weighted effect, kind of, if you like GPAs and stuff and weighted classes, think about it like a 5-credit class is worth more to your GPA than a 3-credit class. The weighted effect of the most recent 30 is the highest. So the 31st won't increase and have as much impact as our 30th did, but it still will. So if I go on a really huge tear of like the next 10 to 12 runs are like this tier, and I don't really have any of these, then I could still accomplish my goal. My first 22 had that average held. I was 6.7. I would have been top 100. So I ended my stream pretty demoralized last night because I had my best. Not my best, my worst night of streaming Hearthstone ever. But I'm in better spirits today, and I just thought I would share with you guys a little bit about what I've learned and the improvements and the mistakes that I've noticed in my own games. So the point of me doing that as an example is for you guys to then look at your, you guys to look at your own games and not get into this hubris effect that you're playing perfectly and there's nothing you could have done differently to win more games. Even the guys that are like top 10, like Hearthstone has so many interactions, so many choices that there could have been one choice, one draft pick, one discover in the game, or whatever that that can lead to a winning path chance versus losing. So always be looking for mistakes that you think you're making and where the most obvious ones are. For me personally, just to recap, I think it's just knowledge checks about the cards. Just knowing how the cards are going to interact on board is pretty important in Hearthstone, obviously. Classic Hearthstone, even in Battlegrounds as well. And then knowing what cards are good to draft and how to build a deck. But I think I'm pretty good at that. I think it's mostly just the cards, and then making sure that I don't rope myself, because the rope has been brutal to me. And then also not letting bad RNG influence my mood as much as it has been. It's hard for me to do personally, but I'm working on that. The other thing I wanted to talk about, like traditionally, this is the last point I'm going to make in the video. Again, for like newer players. So traditionally, you would say, oh, I need to get 7.0 for infinite average. Because if you go into Arena and you start an Arena game, and you win at least 7 gold, if you win at least 7 games, the buy-in for Arena, I'll just show you. I think everybody knows this, but just in case you don't. So your buy-in for Arena is 150 gold. Or this is like $2 essentially, like if you want to, 2 USD, whatever your currency is equivalent to that. I never hit this button, I only hit this button. Like I play for free. So if you're wondering, traditionally, if I hit this button, then I'll have a run or whatever. If you win at least 7 games or more, the one of the rewards has to be at least 155 or 150. I think it's 155 though, from what I've seen, or more. So you did a free run, and then you got packs and other rewards, and essentially it's infinite. But you actually don't have to get 7 to be infinite and play for free, because you can see I have this 7,400 gold, yet my average is 5.633 repeating. How is that? That is possible because of the rewards. If you just do the dailies and just play nothing else, and you don't play any brawl, and you just play arena, if you're 5 or more, I think, or maybe even a little less, you can pretty much just keep going and play for free, and your gold will increase. So I came back from streaming. I think there was about 3,000 gold on this account 3 months ago, and all I've done is played arena, and my average has been about 5, because it was very crap the first month, because I didn't know. Literally, there was like all 5 decks. I'd never seen what any card did, so there's a huge learning gap. And even with that, I've still that we were almost at 8,000 gold before I had this string of bad runs. I think so. I've been negative in the past couple days, a few hundred, but it doesn't really matter. It's going to go back up. I've still over doubled my gold, and it'll still go up too while I go through these rewards. So keep in mind, if you improve from like a 3 to 4 average, if you get playing pretty good Hearthstone arenas at like 5, you can have fun and play this game for free, and that's what everybody here is doing on like these first probably 15, 16 pages and up. Definitely the guys on the first 3 pages or 2 pages that are like closer to 7. So I have other videos in the series, and you're welcome to stop by the stream. Check out Discord to help you improve. And if you're looking to have fun, build your dust. Here, I'll show you my dust. If you're looking to increase your dust to get up to that like 13,000 rate without spending like $200 or whatever of your hard-earned cash to eventually play a fun deck in standard and hit legend for free, the arena is a good way to be a free-to-play player and get the cards that you want and not spend any money. It just takes more time, but it is a fun mode. And maybe in a month or two, when I hear better things about standard, I'll probably again do a free-to-play to legend. We'll take this deck, this dust, and craft a deck that I think is fun and hit legend. I've done that like 3 times in the past. But anyways, that's my thoughts and kind of what I've learned. If there's specific questions you have on things I didn't cover because I didn't think of them, ask me in the comments below. And check out my stream either here on YouTube or on Twitch, and you can join my Discord and follow me on Twitter, and all those socials will be linked below. And I appreciate your time, and thank you for watching. It's going to do it for me. Bye, guys.